escape.
You better wait for the 46 bus the way you were going.
Hey, have you seen his bit of metal, have you?
Introduce them, boy.
He's some bike. Oh, who's buying the cheese?
I'll get you a skin anyway.
I'm going to see you down
that
the road.
picture on my back? That's
Yeah?
all you're going to see, man.
He's a nutcase. He's a definite nutcase.
With a fine weekend, a powerful motorbike and a girlfriend on the back, the Ton-Up Boys set off. 2 short days for riding high and fast, to wind and weave, and often to be a menace. But behind the appalling accident rate of these teenage motorcyclists, there are nearly 2 million enthusiasts in Britain who ride motorbikes and scooters most weekends and never hit the headlines. But they're too busy looking after their machines, organising club meetings, helping others who are genuinely interested in motorcycling, and attending the hundreds of rallies run by the 800 motorcycle clubs in the country. To the majority of motorcyclists, going for a ride is a family affair. And at the end of it, there's usually a get-together, like this club rally open to everyone at Bewley in Hampshire's New Forest. There's always plenty going on at these rallies, and events for everyone to enter. The proudest owners clean and preen their machines for hours. Then the judges get busy to find the best kept bikes. Different events test the rider's skill and control of their machines. But here, instead of speed, it's the slowest rider who gets the applause. At the Montague Motor Museum, the vintage models of a more leisurely period attract the visiting motorcyclists. Today, when the average motorcycle is as fast or faster than the average car, and the rider is more exposed to injury than the driver, many people feel that the training facilities for motorcyclists are inadequate. There are only 140 such schools in Britain, all run by the RAC, but there are more than 10,000 car driving schools. Britain has been building motorcycles for nearly 70 years. Today, the industry employs more than 70,000 people and turns out over 100,000 machines a year. 1/3 of this output, 5 million pounds worth of machinery carefully packed and crated, goes for export. America is Britain's biggest overseas customer, especially for high-powered machines, but they go all over the world. As well as running his parish of Paddington Green, London, the Reverend Bill Shergold, himself a keen motorcyclist, has also found time to do something for the teenage ton-up boys. From his old parish in Hackney, he runs what is called the 59 Club, a church club to which black-jacketed rockers flock from every part of the country. Started in 1962, the club had 5,000 members within 18 months. Although this is a church club, its purpose is to bring together young people with a common interest, motorcycling. Many of them have probably forgotten what the inside of a church looks like, but recently, Mr. Shergold was asked by a group of them to hold a service for motorcyclists. Hundreds of rockers turned up for it. New club members join every week, and the Hackney premises have already become too small. More and more of these teenagers ask Father Bill, as they call him, for confirmation and communion. Many of them join in local social work and help charities. But naturally, the biggest attraction is the weekly get-together, when the clubhouse is thrown open to all young motorcyclists. Their uniform is black leather, their hair a sergeant major's nightmare, and the two words on everyone's lips, the ton, 100 miles an hour. There are nearly 2 million motorcyclists in Britain, and to most of them, a ton is what it always has been, just 20 hundredweights.
pickle. I'd rather ride on my motorcycle. And I don't want to die, just want to ride on my motorcycle. Late last night, the other day, I thought I'd go up and see Ray. So I went up and I saw Ray. There was only one thing Ray could say was, I don't want to pickle, just wanna ride my motorcycle. And I don't want to pickle, I'd rather ride on my motorcycle. And I don't want to die, I just wanna ride my motorcycle. Everybody here ought to sing tonight. You don't have to sing. And if you're new here and you don't know the words, I would even rather that you didn't sing. But it's not one of those difficult songs. Quite simply it goes, I don't want a pickle, just want to ride my motorcycle. And anything that rhymes after that is groovy, so you don't have too much to sweat tonight. We'll try it now. 4-part harmony. Here it is. I don't want a pickle, just want to ride on my motorcycle. And I don't want to tickle, I'd rather ride on my motorcycle. And I don't want to die, just want to ride on my motorcycle. That was great. It wasn't as enthusiastic as it should have been, though. Because of that lack of enthusiasm, I'm going to have to tell you about how I wrote the song. And maybe you'll get more enthusiastic about it. Maybe you won't. It was about the time that I was riding a motorcycle, going down a mountain road at 150 miles an hour, playing my guitar. On one side of the mountain road there was a mountain, and on the other side there was nothing. There was a cliff in the air. You know, when you're going down a mountain road at 150 miles an hour, you gotta be very careful, especially if you're playing a guitar. Especially if that guitar is an acoustic guitar. Because if it's an acoustic guitar, the wind pressure is greater on the box side than on the neck side, because there's more guitar on the box side. I wasn't paying attention. Luckily, I didn't go into the mountain. I went over the cliff. I was going at 150 miles an hour sideways and 500 feet down at the same time. I knew it was the end. I looked down. I said, wow, some trip. I thought I knew it was my last trip, and in my last remaining seconds in the world, I decided to write one last farewell song to the world. I put a new ink cartridge in my pen, took out a piece of paper, I sat back and I thought a while. Then I started writing. I don't want a pickle, just want to ride on a motorcycle. I don't want a tickle, I'd rather ride on my motorcycle. And I don't want to die, just want to ride my motorcycle. I knew that it wasn't the best song I ever wrote. But I didn't have time to change it. I was coming down mighty fast. But as you all know, and as fate would have it, I didn't die. I landed on the top of a police car. And he died. I drove away on the road that he was on. I came into town at a screaming 175 miles an hour, playing the motorcycle song. I came into town and jumped off my bike. The bike went around the corner by itself, went up on the stand by itself, turned itself off. I walked over to my friend. He was standing there eating pickles. I said, "Hi, what's happening?" He looked at me in the eye and said, "Nothing." You gotta sing it with that kind of enthusiasm. Like you just squashed a cop. I don't want to go. Just wanna ride on a motorcycle. And I don't want to go. I'd rather ride on a motorcycle. And I don't wanna die. Just wanna ride on my motorcycle.
She's hard to get started, she's always so cold. In the mornings I find her, she's looking so old. So many miles, we've been down that road once or twice. She's not much to look at when we ride through town. But I know when the chips fall, she won't let me down. She knows when to run, and she don't run around on her man. She's a high-flying lady, she takes me where I want to be. There's no other woman standing between her and me. I'll always be faithful and keep her till the end of time. God knows I'll always love that old panhead of mine. I've seen fancy dressers and they've caught my eye. I've rode 'em to ride 'em and told 'em goodbye. I've flirted with low riders, sportsters, and shovelheads too. I've cussed her and beat her and kicked her to just get her started a couple of times. You might think I'm crazy, but I love that pinhead of mine. She's a high-flying lady, she takes me where I want to be. There's no other woman standing between her and me. I'll always be faithful, I keep her till the end of time. God knows I'll always love that old panhead of mine. God knows I'll always